Let's go. Let's go. What's poppin', everybody? Let's get this live stream going tonight. Everybody hit that like button on the way in. Everybody share this video. Over 50,000. Just rolled a little something up for myself. Cone. Raw life. That's how we do on this side. Raw life, baby. Smoke a little bit to get this stream started. Just got done with a major interview tonight. Really hype about the new interview that I just did. The original OTF. You know what I'm saying? Original OTF shit. Q Life. We had Shay Davis on the channel. We had Bonds. Obviously, Bond Simmons is all over the channel. So it was only right that I go and link up with Q Life. Those guys right there. They were a three-headed monster right there, Mike Jones, appreciate you for tapping in. Buffalo, New York, 716. Brown Girl 420. I didn't see you follow me. Were you on the stream last night? Or had you watched it after the stream? 717's in here. Major salute to the 717. We got some shit to talk about tonight. Major news is popping. G Unit artist, but honestly, do we even call Young Buck an G Unit artist at this point? Do we even call Young Buck an G Unit artist, you guys? 50 signed him for the group album. 50 even signed him for a solo album. So why would we call him an G Unit artist? 50 even tries to block every single album release that Young Buck tries to make. So why would we call him an G Unit artist? At this point, Young Buck needs to make a hit, and he'll make Papa Fifth happy. You are on my YouTube channel, Mike Jones. You are currently on my YouTube channel. Everybody hit that like button. Everybody share this video. I am your host, Mikey T, the movie star. If you guys probably know me already. If you're new tuning into the channel, I've been doing interviews for the last 12 years. I got involved in the game in probably 2009, excuse me. Really started studying the shit and as far as how to get involved in 2008 after, kind of being a little bit disinterested in the industry in 05, 06, 07. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, I need to add something to the industry. I feel like the industry is missing something. And Mikey T, the movie star, was birthed. That's how it all came together, you guys, in a nutshell. Apex is in the building tonight. Major salute to you, bro. Major salute to you tapping in on the channel tonight. Got some topics to speak on, man. We got some shit to speak on. Straight drop or straight broke? Straight drop or straight broke, you guys? There's an old saying, you do the crime, you do the time. You do the crime, you don't whine. You know what I mean? That's not what we want to see. You know what I mean? We've already watched 3-4 court appearances now from Straight Drop. You know what I'm saying? The guy who was trying to dip out to Chicago or wherever the hell he was trying to go. You know what I'm saying? He should have been staying put, but he put himself out there into reach. He put himself out there into the reach of the people, and look where he got himself. He got himself in more court dates than I've seen any other rapper have within a month time span. You know what I mean? He's really caught up with a lot of situations right now. He went to court just the other day. I think it was the other day or something like that. If not today, I've seen a bunch of reports about it. Straight Drop went to court, actually admitted he had no bread. Actually admitted He had no money for a lawyer, you guys. Straight drop, straight broke, straight pathetic, man. Straight pathetic. Really makes me feel that he has a lack of consideration for his own life. You know what I mean? The way he could actually do that. You don't go around doing shit, you know what I mean, that you can't handle. You know what I mean? You don't take on a battle that you can't handle. And right now he's got an uphill battle facing such a serious crime with really no lawyer. Now he's going to get a public defender. You know what I'm saying? He's got so many charges. He's got so many charges right now that honestly, a public defender, like all the public defender is going to help straight drop do is straight cop out. You know what I mean? That's all a public defender is really going to do for straight drop in this case. Cashville's in the house. What up, Nina? Appreciate you for tapping in. Cashville's in the house. Nashville, Tennessee is in this bitch. Major salute to Nashville for tapping in. I am your host, Mikey T, the movie star. I actually went out to Nashville. I went out to Knoxville. Didn't make it to Memphis, unfortunately. Wish I had. Everybody go ahead, share this video. Hit that like button on your way in. Shelton Ritter's in the building. Major salute to you for tapping in. We got some shit to talk about, man. 50 Cent's G-Unit artist, ex-G-Unit artist. I don't really know how to call it right now. If Young Buck made a hit record, would it end up on G-Unit? I don't know. I don't know, man. Is Young Buck ever going to make another hit record? Appreciate you, bro. Real Prophecy, New Jersey's in the building. New film on Shudder right now. Slapface. You can check it out. Tone Martinez. Philly's back. That's right. Philly's back, baby. Yo Gotti actually just did an amazing interview on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. I really got to salute my bro Gilly. You know what I mean? I really got to salute my bro Gilly. Everything him and Wallow are doing, it's really spectacular, man. Bringing on Yo Gotti to talk about the new CM10. We got some information from that interview. So the double disc is going to be CM10. I didn't really hear Yo Gotti say anything on there about this being his last album, but that's been some of the marketing that they've been doing across the board for CM10, the potential of it being Gotti's last album. Yerp. Shout out from Toronto, Hartford, Connecticut, my hometown. F with me. Salute to you on the tap in, man. Hit that like button. Share this video. We're just getting started. We're on the roll up right now. I'm blazing. I'm blazing some cake mix. Wondering what everybody in the chat is smoking as we're getting things going tonight. Also, I'm wondering what everybody in the chat is thinking about Young Buck's G-Unit affiliation. Like, what's going on with that, man? What's going on with Young Buck's G-Unit affiliation? Does he pretty much need one more? If he makes a shorty want to ride, is he going to be out of the doghouse or is it done? My girl Nina says she's smoking on that chocolate chip. Shameless plug. Kid. My dude, Kid is actually selling cookies now. Kid cookies, y'all. Shameless plug. So if anybody wants to reach out to Kid, hit his DM. Hit Kid's DM for some cookies. Right. Kid's got a little hustle, man. Let me tell you, man, Kid's on his shit with the cookies. But let me get to Nina's question here. Before I did that shameless plug for Kid's cookies. So that's my bro, so it's not really shameless. He said, what do you think about Gotti's dollar for dollar challenge? Even giving access to all the artists to use it. Yeah, that's major. Gotti took it a step further. All the criticism, especially from independent artists, saying, oh, we know we're not going to win. Or even from the PRE recording artist, Moochie Grape, saying that y'all should have knew you weren't going to win. Well, Yo Gotti's giving everybody a chance to win because now he's allowing them to put that on their own YouTube channels, on their Spotify, on their social media without it getting ripped down. How about that? How about that boss move? Watching the Gilly podcast, I can say that's pure. That's pure right there. That shit is pure what Yo Gotti's doing. A lot of respect. Tone smoking on that moon rock. I'm smoking on that cake mix. But as far as the challenge goes, I really think it was a genius idea, for Yo Gotti to come in and say, hey, we're going to do a challenge where whoever has the best verse is going to get a single feature with me. I'm going to put you, more than a single feature, I'm going to put you on my album. So that right there simply must have attracted the attention of tens of thousands of people, which attracts the attentions of hundreds of thousands to millions of streams. So that's just win, win, win. It's win, win, win all across the board. Now, the fact that Yo Gotti is giving the artist the ability to actually put it on their own platform, it just shows you how much of a stand up guy he is. So Gotti really, again, beat the naysayers to the punch. Anybody trying to go against that shit, Yo Gotti beat you to the punch. He gave the artist a whole nother reason to actually do the challenge. Now they can take that challenge and they can put it on their social media without having to worry about it getting torn down. What it do, Marcus 42? Dallas is in the building. Hit that like button, guys. This is great content. I try to join you live every time there's some major news. Last night we didn't get the story cover this story of Young Buck allegedly being homeless. You know what I mean? We didn't get to cover this story because we had a few other things pop in, a couple other things on the table. But tonight, man, we got to talk about it because we're talking about a former G Unit artist. You know what I mean? We're talking about somebody who realistically made more money than most people will ever see in their lifetime. 50 had said 50 had said the guys from G Unit made $10 million. He said he got them all, each of them, to make $10 million. We've all heard the rumor about a cool million. That's what they called it, right? A cool million waiting on Tony Yayo when he was released from jail. So I could really, saying all that, I could really believe that 50 put all these guys in the position to make around $10 million. Also, I want to say happy birthday to my late grandfather, Thomas Kipp. He had passed away a few years back, but February 7th is his birthday. So that's my grandfather right there. One of the major reasons that I actually moved back to the Connecticut and Rhode Island area, after losing, my dad and my grandfather. I felt it was only right to come back with my family and be here rather than be on South Beach. You know what I mean? I was on South Beach living the good life, going to every single major club, going and being around every single major celebrity. I remember being at Club Live with Little Reese and Meek Mill, smoking mad weed. Rest in peace, Black Bo. Black Bo coming over and talking to me, telling me to put aside all of my issues with Rick Ross, and he wanted me out there in Miami repping MMG. I remember that shit. You know what I mean? I was a part of that shit, but my dad passed away in December, and then my grandfather passed away in February 2014, 2015. So I thought it was only right to move back to this area, where I grew up, to be around my family. So that's why I'm back here. If anybody really wanted to know, why did Mikey T leave South Beach? You know what I'm saying? If anybody was wondering, why did Mikey T leave the comforts of South Beach? You know what I'm saying? Where I obviously was making a name for myself. I was working at Circle House, salute BB Lewis. I was meeting amazing people like my friends Lunch Money Lewis and Berserk. It's Matic, you know what I'm saying? Clark. I was meeting amazing people, covering amazing celebrities. I had the chance to meet Lil Wayne. I had the chance to meet Lil Durk out there. I had the chance to meet French Montana. I had met him out here in Rhode Island as well, but I had the chance to do so many things out there. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt like it was necessary that I move back here. When I get the opportunity to leave, I'm going to take it. But until then, this is where we are, you guys. This is the station. I am Mikey T, the movie star. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Troublesome, I appreciate the RIP. Happy B-Day, Mr. Kip. That's right. Yeah, he actually, was one of the main inspirations that my brother Jeremiah Kip had, who has the new movie Slapface out right now that is available on Shudder. Yo, yo, yo. Colossal the Don is in the building. Joe Jers, major salute to you for tapping in. Everybody hit that like button. Everybody share this video. Definitely appreciate everybody tapping in. Joe Jers said in the end, family is the only thing that matters. Salute to you. Appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate that. I just wanted to say it, February 7th is a very important day for me. You know, February 7th is a very important day for me. So I just wanted to point that out there. Shelton Ritter, Slapface. That's right. That's right. That's the new movie that's out right now. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but you can download Shudder for free and check it out. I've actually got a scene in there. That's right. Your boy has a scene in the movie. So it's pretty lit. I ain't going to lie. It's pretty lit, you guys. It's lit. CJ, a public defender. So those are the stories we have to talk about tonight. We've got young Buck allegedly being homeless, and we've got Straight Drop, the guy who made videos flashing a whole bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? Flashing a whole bunch of cake, whole bunch of guap. And now he has a public defender. I knew it seemed like he was waiting on somebody. Seemed like he was wishing upon a star. But that's about as far as you're going to get me to go with it. Because I think it's pretty asinine. Anybody who thinks that Straight Drop had an opportunity in this case to get some high profile $1 million lawyer to fight his case. You want to know why? $1 million lawyer fighting this case, I don't know what he's even going to find to help them win the case. This is a pretty open and shut case. They have the video surveillance. They have all types of different scenario. And I got to say, they must have motive at this point. They've got pictures allegedly of these two guys together. If that was Straight Drop, the internet's a crazy place. I don't know these guys. I did meet Dolph on a couple occasions. I was able to interview young Dolph on a couple occasions. As a fan, you get a connection. You get a connection to the artist, and Dolph is one of those guys who, he makes his fans feel really strong about him. RBH was on the channel, and he had some really strong words to say about young Dolph. Nina, yeah, get at Kid. Get at Kid for those sweets. Get at Kid for those sweets. He's got the Kid cookies available now. And you can pretty much, I think you can just contact Kid on social media to get a hold of him if anybody wants to contact Kid in regard to the cookies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Kid's on his grind, man. A lot of respect for Kid, man. But yeah, so the topics we have tonight are pretty serious. We're gonna go from one end, Straight Drop, going to court again and getting a public defender. The guy who's pretty much been he leads us on a path. You know what I mean? And then it leads to nowhere. He did this when he first got locked up. When he told the world, "Hey guys, I'm gonna turn myself in on Monday." Remember? You remember? You got Oh, yo, Javier, I'm not trying to make light of anything involving young Dolph by talking about Kid selling cookies. That's just a pure coincidence that Kid is actually selling cookies, you know? Pure coincidence, but nonetheless support Kid, man. Kid has come on the channel and blessed me on multiple occasions. I got a hell of a lot of love for Kid. Everybody share this video too, man. Share this video if you support me, if you want to see me go further in the game. Appreciate y'all. Port City's in the building. Major salute. Hey, Too Pretty Miss Kitty, appreciate you for tapping in. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Headshot Gang Charlie says Straight Drop is a cap artist. Yeah, man, if you go back and watch Straight Drop's video from July of 2021, he doesn't really have any money in that video. He doesn't have it. He's not flossing. You know what I'm saying? He's not showing a bunch of guap. You know what I'm saying? He's not talking guapanese, as the kids say. Is that right? Is that what they're saying nowadays? Let me know. Um, but in the new video, he's got all types of cake. You know what I'm saying? He done hit a lick. He done hit a lick, and now he's bragging in his newest videos. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves to show off in their videos and flash money, you know, and rent cars, borrow jewelry, everything, this, that, and the third. Whatever you can do to make yourself look better for that 3.5 minutes during the video, you're going to do. Now, let's think about that 3.5 minutes more so than thinking about the next 35 years of our life. Like, this is where things get really screwed up because now we got straight drop going in for a violation of a charge that I don't even really want to talk about because it's pretty disgusting in my opinion. And you know, he's going in for a violation and they're asking him, "Hey, where's your lawyer? Where's the person that's going to defend you in this case? Because I hope you're not thinking about coming up here and defending yourself unless you're just thinking about pleading guilty, accepting a plea deal." You know what I mean? Which is pretty much what having a public defender leads to. What's going on? Anvil, Mikey T, Rochester, New York checking in. Are you going to talk about CMAC DP? I'm about to share and hit that like button. Well, I'm not too aware of what happened with CMAC, just to be 100% honest with you, brother. Port City says a lot of these rappers be flashing fake money. You can buy 10K on Amazon for $30. Yeah, and you know, Raheem the jeweler actually showed me a bunch of fake money. My dumbass. Now, guys, this hopefully this doesn't get taken and put on the internet a million times. Well, hopefully it does. But my dumbass, when I met up with Raheem the jeweler, he was showing me the fake money, the fake jewels, and I actually took some of the fake money and I was capping with it. But unfortunately, I mixed my own blue hundreds with the fake money, and then I was just up shit's creek, man. So I mixed the fake money with my real money, and then I'm like, yo, what's going on here, man? So, moral of the story, don't mess with fake money. Now, what happened while Raheem the jeweler and myself? I mean, you guys saw what happened in the video. Raheem got a little bit rough with me, you guys. Raheem doesn't play around. You know what I mean? He apparently gets his jewelry off to some of the most well known and athletic celebrities in the game. And when it comes to athletics, you know, it's you're fit, you know, you're able to do certain things. And if you saw the video, that's kind of why Raheem the jeweler was able to grab me and force my head being slammed down into that table. Now, if Raheem the jeweler and myself were ever to do a celebrity boxing, that would be another story. I mean, Raheem, you know what I'm saying? Like I know how to block a punch. I know how to back up from a punch. I'm an avid streets of rage. You know what I'm saying? Street fighter. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. Damn, bro. Yeah, man. Shit be happening. Shit be happening. What up, around the Don? Yeah, I keep it too real, man. Who Gilly gonna sign from Philly? Yeah, that's a big. Or who's Gotti? Excuse me, Sunye. Appreciate you for tapping in. Who is Gotti gonna sign from Philly? You know, the options are out there. You got Leaf Ward, you got Ozzy Sparks. You know, he was rocking with AR Rab and Kaz. You know what I'm saying? Young Bull is fire. I don't know if he just got a deal. I might be mistaken. But we're talking about CMG here. Any deal could be partnered with. Not sure what label Ozzy Sparks signed with. Who else? You got Mac and Cheese. They put out a lot of flamers. Major salute to 37 Mac. Young Bull be keeping up with me. I think he's really dope, man. And Cheese as well. He's got a whole lot of swag. Cheese really know how to hold the stage. Cheese really know how to show off. And, you know, his presence really holds his own. I was actually in the club with those dudes, man, and they really know how to turn up, man. Gilly ain't messing around with $1 million worth of game entertainment, man. Free Pooh Shiesty. I see Pooh Shiesty just went platinum. the fact that I'm gonna have to get a Pooh Shiesty poster for the wall. I think we got a couple spots, but yeah, Pooh Shiesty going platinum. I think he deserves something on the wall. I'm gonna keep you all updated as far as what happens in Pooh Shiesty's case. They're saying he's facing about 8 years right now. He's really facing more than that, but they're saying it could be about 8 years. Everybody share this video. Mikey T, the movie star. I'm your host. Sunye says CMG is low key the hottest label in the game. When I was watching Gilly's interview and Wallow talking with Yo Gotti on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, it was sort of reminding me of being back there at Circle House with Yo Gotti when he was kicking that game to me. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to see any of the pieces of my interview with Yo Gotti, just type in Yo Gotti, Mikey T, the movie star. I'm not like all these other bloggers, guys. I'm not like all these other bloggers who talk about the guys that they don't know, talk about the guys that they never met, never picked up any knowledge from. That's kind of like why I'm a little bit further, you know what I mean, when it comes to the giving out game. You know what I mean? That's why I'm a little bit further when it comes to, making my analogies or giving my hypothesis, or, you know what I'm saying? 8 years is still a lot. Yeah, but you got to consider the fact that it'll bring Pooh out when he's probably about, what, 30 years old? Let me see. How old is Pooh? He was born in 1999. You know what I'm saying? So actually, no. Actually, no. Yeah. Yeah, about 30. I'm right on the money, actually. Yeah, I'm right on the money. Hopefully he'll get out sooner than that, though, man. I'm not talking about any sort of presidential pardons or anything. I don't foresee that happening. You know what I mean? Again, what we saw happen with Lil Wayne, I don't foresee that happening again. With Kodak Black, like that was a once in a lifetime type of thing that I'm extremely grateful for as a hip hop influencer and more so as a hip hop fan. It's Lil Wayne getting the opportunity that he's got, and Kodak Black getting the opportunity after already being incarcerated. Lil Wayne didn't even have to get locked up, although he pled out in that case, which I guess was strategic. Like I said, you need to have a lawyer who tells you what to do in certain cases. If Lil Wayne hadn't pled out in that case and wasn't convicted, Donald Trump potentially couldn't have helped him. So you need to have a smart lawyer. That's what goes into paying a lawyer $40,000 in reference to Straight Dropp's case. You need that lawyer who's going to take your situation and flip it and make it seem like the most reasonable situation. Headshot said, facts, bro. Some MFers can't even grasp the lingo. Yeah, man. The lingo is very important when it comes to music. You know what I mean? Lingo kind of plays a factor in how how you get other people to actually mess with your content. If you have a piece of lingo that catches on, you know what I mean, throughout the country, it's sort of like a viral moment on TikTok or just a viral moment in general. If you have a dance, a saying, something where they can take your name and add it to theirs, you got something major right there. And that's all in lingo, like Uncle Murda, Bobby Schmurda. It's all in lingo. And just look at the obvious facts of what happened with Uncle Murda and Bobby Schmurda. As fans of the game, as fans that have witnessed all of this, which I assume most of you in the chat are, hit that notification bell if you're not usually in here and you want to tap in more frequently. But I'm saying, we all watched these artists blow up and we saw, the successes or the failures that happened with them. Terminology is key. Exactly. Terminology is key because it even affects the way, your songs go. Like sometimes slang words that people use in some spots, like artists will blow up off of it. You know what I mean? Artists can blow up off of some slang that's popping that a bunch of people know about that some other people don't. It's all about putting it out there on a platform where you're going to get some people to actually interact with it and relate to it or whatever. Uh, Look at the Island Boys. The Island Boys didn't even have a name. They had their Kodiak Red and their Fly Soldier name, but they didn't even have a name before making that freestyle for the Island Boys, you guys. They really didn't even have a name in that whole thing. So they made the song or freestyle Island Boys, and then boom, it clicked right there. Pushin' P. Uh, Pushin' P is something that I don't want to sit up here and say I don't understand it, because you say you don't understand Pushin' P, you've automatically put yourself in some sort of an old head category. You know what I mean? Pushin' P is a little bit too obvious not to understand. You know what I mean? Gunna, Young Thug, these guys are some of the innovators. You know what I mean? These guys are some of the recent innovators that have actually sparked interest of so many other people that have started to blow up. Like, how many people are starting to do music that resemble Young Thug, that resemble Future? You know what I'm saying? That resemble Gunna. You know what I mean? They're just opening themselves up to the world rather than being shy, I guess, to do it. Sometimes back in the day, maybe some people can relate to this, but back in the day, you wouldn't want to do rap because of maybe how you think your voice sounds, or maybe it's because you didn't think your lyrics were good enough. This day and age, these guys don't care about that. You know what I mean? They don't really consider that. When they consider that, it's like, why would I let anybody tell me how my shit sounds? You know, that's how it really is, man. A lot, you shouldn't be so worried about what everybody's thinking. Wait till everybody hears it. First, at least wait till everybody hears it. Well, Danny, honestly, man, why do you think that a public defender is going to help him in the situation of snitching? I think that if anything, the public defender is going to help Straight Drop when it comes to copping out in the case. If Straight Drop was going to snitch, which he can't snitch in this case. He's the main suspect in the case. He's the main suspect in the case. There's no snitching for Straight Drop in this. There's no turning state's evidence for Straight Drop in this case. You know what I mean? He is the main suspect. They read it out. You know what I mean? They read it out in his case, the number of charges that that Straight Drop has had in comparison to his co-defendant. You know what I mean? His co-defendant is 10 years older. I don't know, Lee H, what do you guys think? The fact that Straight Drop's co-defendant is 10 years older than him, is that going to play a factor in it? I think the serious nature of Straight Drop's crimes that he's been facing over the last nearly 10 years, I think it goes back to 2015. I might be mistaken. Um, and then the other dude who's 33, he had one charge, and they threw the dude on in jail, I think, for 3 years. Meanwhile, they're letting Straight Drop get out every opportunity that he can. Danny Gray says he can't cop out, then they not giving him no deal. If he don't tell, then them what they want to hear. Tell them what they want to hear. Tell them what they want to hear, which is what the exact truth. They want to hear, why was he there that day? Why did he have issues with young Dolph? None of that is going to help this guy. None of that is going to help this guy. But in all honesty, his reputation is already ruined. You know, his reputation is seriously already ruined in his case. Or not his case. If he ever thinks he's coming back out for a music career, he is sadly mistaken, you guys. Straight Drop is on a list that you don't want to be on. Straight Drop is on a list that even he didn't want to be on, to the point where he didn't sign up for that list and he caught a violation for it. Straight Drop is going to court on numerous charges right now, you guys. So, in all honesty, I don't even know if he's thinking about a music career anymore. He was. I don't know why he was even thinking about one then with the charges that he had. That shit's going to come out. You're going to look hella embarrassing. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't really need to go say it. It's freaking disgusting. Straight Drop is a straight idiot. Straight Drop is apparently straight broke, telling the judge that he can't afford a lawyer. Are you shitting me right now? You first, Straight Drop tells him, "Oh no, my family," or maybe he didn't say my family. "Oh, we're gonna get a lawyer. My family's gonna get a lawyer." Why don't the family put up the house? You know what I mean? Why doesn't something like that happen? There's not even a consideration of, actually, no, you can't put up the house. You can't put up the house because then the lawyer wants the house. It's not like bail. It's not like bail where if you put up the house, you'll get it back. There is no coming out for Straight Drop, you guys. There is no coming out. There is no bail. There's none of that. We saw Pooh Shiesty. He pled guilty and then he wanted a pre-sentencing bail, even though he's fighting another case. May have been able to get it if he wasn't fighting that other case. Look at the shit. He pled out in like February. No, he pled out in like January, and his sentencing is in April or something like that. His sentencing is like 3 months away. It would have been totally reasonable for Pooh Shiesty to get out on a pre-sentencing bail. But no, they shut that shit down. Yeah, there's no one to snitch on for Straight Drop, you guys. There's no one to snitch on. And you know what? It's not like it was back in the day, where all the newspapers, all the magazines are going to be coming to Straight Drop and paying him a bunch of money to do an interview. It's not like that anymore, you guys. Straight Drop isn't going to get no interviews based on what he did. And plus, what's he going to do? Snitch on himself in the interviews to get the bread to pay for a legal defense, and then he's going to have it out there? No. And there's no documentaries coming to work with Straight Drop. Obviously, Netflix is more concerned with the Yay documentary. They're not going to do the Netflix Straight Drop, This Is Your Life. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that wasn't you, man. Sometimes you just got to play your position, man. Sometimes you just got to play your position in this shit. Young Dolph was Young Dolph was opening a lot of doors for Memphis artists. You know what I mean? Not even talking about just his own camp. That their whole, we were talking about slang earlier. Their whole slang, their whole delivery coming from Memphis is one of the most interesting things in the culture right now. That's why we open our doors to different artists now, like 3-6 Mafia, Yo Gotti, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? What up, G? What's popping with you, bro? Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't talk about that asinine conspiracy type shit on this channel, to be honest with you, man. I don't talk about that, man. We don't talk about ridiculous conspiracy theories on this channel. I got too much respect for the culture to, sit on here and talk about shit in that nature, just to be 100% honest. Tennessee, period. Yeah, Tennessee, period. Headshot Gang Charlie says, see what fake flossing and playa hating with no money gets you? Straight broke. Yeah, you do a video with $15,000 in your hand. Normally, you guys, when somebody does a video with $15,000 that they're flossing, you know what I mean, that they're spreading out, that they're making a movie of, you would think they've got way more than that actually in the bank. You know, at no point would you think like, oh, this guy done emptied his whole bank account to floss in his music video. Please, please tell me that's not what's going on out there. I'm really hoping that's not what is going on out there, you guys. I don't know who in there, right? I could go drain my whole account right now and do the Soldier Boy on live every night for you. If that's what's going to get me more followers, maybe I need to take some notes. Maybe I need to take some notes while I take tokes of the marijuana smoke. Steve says, I want to get everybody's opinion on this as well. Young Dolph was going to be the lyricist of the year. The lyricist of the year. Stephen Rivera. Young Dolph was going to be the lyricist of the year. Well, man, I don't doubt that. I mean, in comparison to guys like Nas and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Because, you know, Nas is on his grind too right now and shit. Every stream I do, they're always asking me about the Nas album and shit. But in comparison to guys like Nas, I could put Young Dolph there with a Rick Ross, you know, and I really have respect for Rick Ross's career. And Rick Ross, more than his career, I have respect for Rick Ross's lyrics, you know, his delivery. I could put Dolph there, a few rungs below Rick Ross, just to be 100% honest. Video with Monopoly money? Nah, bro. Nah, Jay. It was a video with his whole life savings, which is even more depressing. It's like, if you got to drain your whole account to do a video, you know what I mean? And I'm not even just talking about paying the videographer, because there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's got to pay their videographer. But if you're going to drain your whole account just to show every last dollar of what you have, man, that just says a lot about you. It says a lot about you as far as what you will do to get some attention in the game. You know what I mean? It's not about that, man. It's not about how much clout you can chase. The shit is about how much entertainment you can provide. You know what I mean? It's about how much interesting shit you can bring to the forefront. You know, like, it's really not what it's about, man. You know, when Young Thug did his shit in the beginning of his career, he had the music to back it up. You know what I'm saying? He had all those clubs turned up with his singles. People love to dance to his music. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. Are people going to want to dance to your music? It's cool. You got the record that you're bragging on. We all think you're cool. You got oh shit, that's a dope whip. I wish I could see it inside. I wish I could roll up a blunt in it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But at the end of the day, it's really about the music that you can make. And if you're actually making music that makes people dance, that makes people replay it, all that type of shit, that makes people listen to it enough times to remember the lyrics. But yeah, if you're just tuning in, we are going to be talking about Young Buck tonight. But Young Dolph suspect straight drop is apparently getting a public defender. After going to court on a violation recently, he let the judge know. Let me see, I think I got a direct quote, that he doesn't have any money for a lawyer. He doesn't have any bread for a lawyer. He's got a little bread for a what is it called? A bafunga? He's got a little bread for a bafunga, right? He's got bafunga money. Am I saying it right, you guys? He's got money for, you know, the little meat assortment. I don't know if he's going to get the salmon. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's going to do. He's probably got the money for the honey bun. I'm not trying to make fun of the dude, but it's kind of messed up when you put yourself in a situation like this and you're not straight dropping, you're straight broke. You know what I'm saying? That's what artists hate to admit. And that's why I respect my guy RBH so much. RBH first single. It was called Damn It, I'm Broke. First video, I shot Ryan B. Heezy, RBH. I shot RBH's video and I shot Chinks's video. Those are the two videos that I shot right there. And damn it, man, a lot of these artists are afraid to admit when they don't have it. You know what I mean? That's why he was staying on the run. And he definitely wasn't going to accumulate no money on the run like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was buying no straight drop features. I'm sorry to say. Nobody was getting the straight drop feature, man. No record label was signing straight drop. Like we seen the one dude, he paid for his bail, but based off of getting, a record contract. That's called talent, man. That's called talent. That's called drive. That's called ascension. You know what I mean? When you make movements in the game. What was I just saying a couple minutes ago? For everyone who's just tuning in, Straight Drop released a video in July. The joint did like 100,000 views, right? He released a music video in July. When was his next video? His next video was November 22nd, November 23rd, like 5 days after what happened to young Dolph. This dude released a video 6 months later, 4 months later, whatever the hell it was. It's like, come on, man, where's your drive for the music? Where's your drive for the music industry? And you're going to do some cap ass shit. You're going to do some clout chasing ass shit like attack one of the most famous rappers. We've seen shit like this happen in the past. This is really nothing new. Celebrities taken out by their biggest fans. Look it up. It's happened. It's happened many times in the history of life. We just never would want to think it would happen like that. Nobody would have ever thought that the dude who took one of our favorite artists away from us would actually be someone that was almost close to him. I mean, he was close enough to get the PRE chain. He was close enough to steal one of the PRE chains, you guys, and then floss it in his video. So that right there tells me that young Dolph would have never had any further affiliation with this clown. Guy thinks he's going to sign to PRE, right? I guess the story is Dolph had signed somebody that Straight Drop didn't like. But this dude thinks he's going to sign to PRE when he's got one of the most tainted histories. He has a tainted history, you guys. He's on a list that nobody would want to be on. List that I'm not even going to mention while here on the show. He doesn't get that from me. No. Hell no. Not me. Press that like button, y'all. Salute the channel. Support the channel. Share this video. Tonight we're talking about Straight Drop not having a lawyer. Finally admitting that he doesn't have any bread for a lawyer. How embarrassing. How embarrassing, man. This isn't like you're going to court for getting in a little fist fight, facing a simple assault where you're going to just do a little community service. You know what I'm saying? This isn't like that. Or even if you're facing a second assault charge and you might have to face a little probation. This isn't like that where you can walk in, or if you get a DUI and you could go there without a lawyer, even though you probably should get a lawyer in a DUI case. If you got the money, I don't really know. But yeah, like it's not the same thing, man. And they really played it like it was a joke. I know the kid's 23 years old or whatever, he's 23 years old or whatever, but it's like, come on, man. Come on, man. You realize what a lawyer wants to take on this case? You think of money. What did the parents used to say? You think money grows on trees? Stop it. Stop it. Straight Drop played himself, Chase Moolah says. Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Hit that like button. He did. He played himself because why did he play himself? Here's where I'm really going to get you guys. How did he play himself? Because he really had a career. The guy had a career. Straight Drop had a potential to do bigger things. You know what I'm saying? Straight Drop had a potential. Like I just said, one of his videos had 107,000 views on it. 100K views on it in July of 2021. You know, he really screwed himself. Yes, shout out Biggie Toka, the marijuana smoke. Lee H said, people only respect you when you're gone. I don't agree with that, bro. You know, people aren't that like that, man, all the time. You know what I'm saying? People who are here do get their flowers. Like we see it on, you know, Gilly's channel, $1 million worth of game. We see Nori do it on Drink Champs. You know, I think him and EFN, you know, I think they actually got the whole thing now with the case of golden flowers. I'm not really sure what it is. I haven't gotten them, obviously, you know, but I see that they do that, and that makes me as a fan excited. It makes me happy. It makes me see that people don't just show love to somebody once they're gone, which is a common misconception. Fugi Radio, what's poppin'? Mikey T, the movie star here. Yo, that talking to my scale is crazy. Respectfully, Jadakiss, big facts. Well, I mean, we never put Jadakiss and Young Dolph in the same category, guys. I was just respectfully telling you that I put Young Dolph more in the category of a Rick Ross. Yeah, Jadakiss is more like top 3 dead or alive. You know what I'm saying? In your opinion, New York native, top 3 dead or alive, because I'm trying to think. Jadakiss is really great. You know, there's no doubt about that, but he's not on my top 10 list. It's the unit. Facts. Headshot. And I appreciate you writing that comment with some respect. His other charges aren't good either. He's going to have a rough time in prison. Yeah, and you know, with those other charges, Headshot, I don't understand why he even thinks that Yo Gotti, Young Dolph, DJ Paul, anybody would want to deal with him. Numero uno says at least have enough bread for your ignorance. Yeah, a lot of people feel the same way, Uno. You know, why would he, like I was saying earlier, it's not like he was doing the Kodak Black and stealing some you know, Slim Jims from the convenience store. You know what I mean? It's not like he was putting a Monster energy drink in his back pocket and walking out the store. He's on the more serious shit. And he's on the more serious shit for a stupid reason. Doing this shit around Thanksgiving of all times. Now, you know, man, I've lived a life where, you know, like I got family and all that, but still, you know what I mean? Holidays are rough and shit like that. Me and one of my dogs, we always be hanging out on the holidays, but you don't go out and do some dark ass shit like Straight Drop did on the holidays. That's just straight ridiculous. You know what I mean? If you're getting together with the homies on the holidays because you don't got the best shit going on with your own family, whether it be your personal family, whether it be the mother of your children's family, you get together with your roadie and you drink back some Henny. You put some L's in the air. You know what I mean? You drain the pain like that. You know what I'm saying? But dude decided to just throw his whole life away. Ooh, Danny Gray. That's a very interesting topic. Juvenile and Young Buck. Not 100% sure on that. Not 100% sure on that. Nina says Juvenile left Buck in a hotel homeless. 50 saved him. And that was around the time when I guess Suge Knight was courting Juvenile. You know, like Bonds has told me on the channel at one point, Suge Knight had flown him and Shay Davis out, you know, when he was courting the OTF empire. Salute to my guy, Q Life. We just did an amazing interview tonight. And Suge Knight had flown out Juvenile, and Young Buck was one of the guys with him, you know, being with UTP. And so I don't know what happened during that whole ordeal, that, soured Juvenile's relationship with Buck. You know what I mean? I don't know if Buck was overextending himself. You know what I mean? I don't know if Buck was, getting a little too flashy, trying to impress Suge Knight. Because Buck had a little bit of a name. He had run with Birdman and all that shit. So I'm not really sure if Buck maybe overstayed his welcome a little bit and it rubbed Juvenile the wrong way. I'm not sure why Juvenile ended up leaving the hotel and all that. I'm not sure what hotel it was. I mean, if somebody got me staying at what's the one of the nice hotels, I'm staying. Now, if a dude had me staying at the Best Western, I'm leaving. I'm more than likely not even showing up. So I'm not sure what hotel Juvenile was staying at on Suge Knight's dime. That's some information I might get into on another interview with Bonds, because we were actually talking about doing another interview around the time of his next project. He was talking about releasing a project right around Valentine's Day, I believe. Salute to Bond Simmons. Schizo says Straight Drop is done for. It's a wrap. I mean, Schizo, when you're going into the courtroom after 4 weeks, or no, not 4 weeks, excuse me. It was more time than that. After 4 appearances, and you're telling the judge, oh, we're getting the money together. Oh, my family's getting the money together. Yeah, we're going with my family. My family's actually all of our hopes and dreams of the calls from major record labels didn't come in. So our family's going to take care of it. Then the next time they go in, our family actually doesn't have any money for it. Found out that the case was actually going to cost about $50,000. Do you have a public defender for $50,000 that would represent me? Because that would be pretty cool. But no, just it's crazy when somebody goes in front of the judge now after 4 times and he's telling them that they don't have any money. I mean, where'd the money go in those last appearances? I mean, if the money is there, the money is there, period. You don't just lose the money. What were you paying rent? Rent wouldn't do it. Rent's not going to deplete your money, not even if you're paying your moms, your side chicks, your wifeys, your brothers, not even if you're paying all them rents as well. That's not even going to deplete it. You either have the money to handle a case like this or you don't, man. And in his case, he doesn't. He's only 23 years old. Who would think somebody at the age of 23 years old would have $150,000, $300,000, $400,000 in the bank? The average wouldn't. The average 23-year-old would not. But now I want to see everybody drop names in the chats of 23-year-olds who do have $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 in the bank. Peace and blessings, Fuji Radio. Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Fuji says his top 3 is Nas, Jadakiss, and Ghostface. Well, yeah, if we're talking specifically a New York list, that's a dope one right there. I really love me some Ghostface, man. Ghostface is one of my favorite artists to watch live. Seeing Wu-Tang live, seeing Ghostface there has always been one of the best times. Okay, Shelton, it's called WTF, What the Flowers on Drink Champs. Salute to Nori, man. Nori is big, bro. I really appreciate Nori. He's always getting me drunk. He's always getting me high. All that type of shit. Whenever I'm trying to interview him, it's like, yeah, top 10. Top 10. Pac, Big, J, M. Nas, 50. Wayne, Outkast. Yeah, he might be on my top 10, actually. He might be right there at the end of my top 10, actually. What we burning? What we burning? And sometimes the list fluctuates a little bit. Like I put Jay I put Jay above Eminem because Jay made his record label situations work. Whereas Eminem, he had great albums. He didn't the record, the only artist that blew up off M was really 50 Cent, and he also had D12. You know, they had really great selling group albums. Obi Trice didn't pan out so much. Stat Quo didn't pan out. Now Jay-Z's record label was much bigger. Now Pac, oh, hold on. Pac, Big, DMX, Jay-Z, Eminem, Nas, 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, Outkast, boom, 10, Jadakiss. Yes, I believe it was Jadakiss because I put Outkast on the list when I was doing it because I love Outkast, man. Outkast is my favorite duo, even talking about Mobb Deep, even talking about MOP, but obviously MOP because I put Mobb Deep a bit above MOP just because of the amount of records that I take interest in. And it's all personal preference, you guys. You know what I mean? Why Pac above Big? The amount of material. Why Pac above Jay-Z? The amount of singles that I like. Pac had better singles than Jay-Z, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Show Me What You Got is great. Girls, Girls, Girls is great. Big Pimpin' is great. All of these different eras of Jay-Z is great. I love it all. You know what I mean? But the singles from Pac are just so damn timeless. You know, even though I wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? Even though I wasn't there for that era when these records were actually releasing, like Two of America's Most Wanted and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep your head up. You know what I'm saying? All these major records, some even released after his death, just because I really wasn't. I seen some of them though. You know what I mean? Like when Nas jumped on the track with Pac and shit like that. But yeah, so Biggie's flow is just so remarkable. You know what I mean? Biggie's flow, you just can't really contend with Biggie's flow. I don't put Big L on the list because of he's on the list for sure. Mace is on the list. You know what I mean? A lot of people are on the list, but we're talking about top 10. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about top 10. And there's just only so. Oh, Shelton Ritter. That's love, bro. He just let me know the best Western in LA is Heat, Mikey T. All right, bro. All right, bro. I'm gonna have to watch some of the shit that I say sometimes. But let me take a second to give a major shout out. I'm giving a shout out to Bel Air Blue, man, because you guys know, man, I got that real shit on deck, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got the real shit on deck. I got that Veuve Clicquot. You know what I mean? We got that Veuve Clicquot. That shit run about $75. That shit is real. You know what I mean? That's one of the best drinks on the market. I'm not gonna lie to you. Veuve Clicquot. It's that really good shit. Then you gotta mess with the classic. You know what I mean? This is that shit that got Rick Ross started. Ricky Rose started. Moet is good, but you got to go with the Moet Rose, y'all. That pink shit. You know what I'm saying? The shit that inspired Pink Rose, the weed. You know what I'm saying? That new weed strand. But I ain't gonna front. The new product that Gucci Man is doing with Bel Air is lit. And it tastes really great as well. Bel Air Blue, you guys. We need to get that Bel Air endorsement, man. I'm fitting to be the Bel Air blogger. All types of shit fitting to be popping, man. We're going to be drinking that blue drink every episode as well. So let Bel Air know Mikey T, the movie star, is about to be the new Bel Air blogger. They need to send them bottles, baby. Let's get it. But now let's get back to the show, y'all. Let's get back to the show. Excuse me. I just had to point it out there that we do sip other things aside from Bel Air Blue. But you know what I'm saying? Try the Shamrock Motel whenever you in Chicago. Cookie, what's poppin'? Top 3, Pac, Nas, Ice Cube. Blowing on some sour blueberry and Skittles. Jadakiss, number 10. Most underrated rapper I'll say of all time is Cool G Rap. I thought it was interesting when 50 was talking about signing Cool G Rap. Danny, how do you think a relationship with 50 Cent and Cool G Rap could have worked? How would an album on Cool G Rap, how would a G-Unit album with Cool G Rap have sounded? So Young Dolph was actually mentioned in 2 Chainz's interview as well. So Young Dolph was mentioned in 2 Chainz's interview with uh the Breakfast Club actually. 2 Chainz brought up how Dolph got his first feature from him. Now, I'm not it that might be true. I guess it hearing it from 2 Chainz, I guess it's true. Apparently, Young Dolph went to Atlanta to get a feature from Players Circle. You know what I'm saying? Dolph wanted to go work with Players Circle after all the success they had with the Lil Wayne song, Duffel Bag Boy. You know what I'm saying? So he went out there to go work with 2 Chainz, known as Titty Boy and Dollar Boy. Maybe I'm not sure if he was Titty Boy or 2 Chainz at the time. He must have been Titty Boy, right? Just considering. So he went out there, but Dollar Boy didn't really, I think it was a $3,000 play. So it looks like it would have been 1,500 a piece. I guess Dollar Boy had something more financially successful to do at that point, so he didn't show up. 2 Chainz was really feeling Dolph. First time I'm ever hearing this. Salute to the Breakfast Club, man. Charlemagne the God, Angela Yee, and DJ Envy. I really hope I didn't miss a call back then in the day to be a part of that. I really, really didn't check my emails properly back then. But regardless, those 3 together is an amazing duo. But yeah, so 2 Chainz actually said he did. I think maybe he did a record for 3K, but then he also did another one for free just because they were vibing. 2 Chainz was saying that they pretty much had a lot in common, from smoking up to actually drinking lean. And let me just say, drinking lean is not really the most thrilling experience. You know what I'm saying? One time I put down an 8 with my friend. I had like an 8 or something like that. I had a full bottle of it, and we put it down on New Year's. And let me tell you, man, leaning is not really fun. It's like you're sort of like literally leaning back and forth, like because I had drank it a few times, but I never really got the full feeling. So then I'm leaning, and it's like, whoa, man, this shit is not fun, man, not fun whatsoever. So I'm more of just a weed smoker, and I pop that champagne, man. But sipping on a little bit of that purple drink was cool every now and then back in the day, but I'm not into it whatsoever. That shit be making you feel all woozy and shit. I'm cool on that. I like to remain productive. But I just felt I would give you guys that little story right there. Little Mikey T codeine story, if you will. But yeah, so I remember that Gucci Man actually spoke on giving Young Dolph a feature as well. I thought the price was 7,000 though. So Players Circle 3,000, Gucci Man 7,000. Just put it in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Just put it in perspective. He went and got the Gucci Man feature. He got the Gucci Man feature, right? For 7K, but in reality, he got so much more than that. He got a lifelong friend with both of these guys, with 2 Chainz as well. Just he was Titty Boy at the time, but Dolph kept working to the point where he kept his relationships, and he kept them, he kept growing with relationships throughout. Everybody just can't became so fascinated with his character, and not in regard to the same way that people are fascinated with Black Youngster's character, but they became fascinated with his music and his delivery, his bars, his bravado. You know what I mean? Everything about Young Dolph really brought you in as a fan. So when you go and you pay somebody like Gucci Man $7,000, they remember that, and they're like, damn, I did that one for $7,000, but in reality, dude is great. You know what I mean? He paid me $7,000. I feel a little bit in debt to him to show him a little extra love. Gilly actually gave a story on his $1,000,000 worth of game podcast with Yo Gotti. Gilly, I'm not sure which project Gilly dropped a song with Yo Gotti on, but it must have been on one of the King of Phillies, right? Hosted by DJ Drama. So, guys, Gilly hit Gotti up, and he was like, "Yo, man, you're hitting right now." Gotti's like, "Yo, I'm charging like 25,000 a feature, but for you, I got you. I got you, Gilly. 10,000, right?" Told Gilly $10,000. Yeah, and it was in 2003. 10,000. He sent the record. Gilly sent the record to Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti called Gilly back from what Gilly said and said, "Yo, I'm doing that one for free." So you do see shit like that happen, man. You do see shit like that happen, man. It's not unheard of in this game, man. Gilly is just an upfront dude. Gilly's just a real dude. He realizes that Yo Gotti is one of the most sought after talents in the industry. Gilly's an actor. You know what I mean? Gilly makes films. You know what I'm saying? So he understands people need to be paid for their time. At one point, Gilly had Jeremiah on his lead single. You know what I'm saying? Tattoos. Y'all remember that one? So Gilly knows the game. Let me see. Danny Gray says, "Do you think a Nas and Jay-Z versus battle would be good? Would be good. If so, they won't give us what the fans want to see." I'm not sure what has to happen, Danny, for that versus battle with Jay-Z. And we're off topic here, but I'll answer this for you, bro. Because I was just sort of going over the young Dolph topic for tonight's straight drop, apparently not being able to afford a lawyer. Also, some recent interviews and comments from Gucci Man and 2 Chainz. But Nas and Jay-Z versus, man, I don't think versus has the budget for that. To be 100% honest with you, I don't think versus has the budget for that shit, man. Jay-Z is making too big of moves to go and do that. That's just the real thing of it. It's not about them not being able to give the fans what they want. There's talk of Busta Rhymes and Eminem right now, right? That's an interesting battle. That's an interesting versus. Let's see if they can put it together. If they can bring Eminem out, I got a feeling that we're going to be one step closer to Nas versus Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? In all honesty, I feel like if they can get that, but I think we're more likely to see something like T.I. and Busta. Look how much interest T.I. actually takes in wanting to do a versus. And T.I. is a very big artist, y'all. A little bit below the likes of Eminem and Jay-Z, but T.I. is no joke. Yo, Joseph, you went out and watched Slapface? Slapface is available now, you guys. If anybody wants to watch Slapface, it is available now on Shudder. I'm going to post the link in my bio right here. Not my bio. I'm going to post it. I'm going to pin it up. All you got to do is go click the link and you can watch Slapface. It's an 84-minute horror movie, one of the best horror movies of the year as well. It's got some known actors in it. So go check it out if you're interested. I don't know, Danny. I don't know about T.I. over 50, man. You might be right, actually, man. T.I. has some major hits. T.I. has some major hits. Mikey T, you into poetry? Not so much, bro. I'm not into poetry. Although I'm a hell of a writer, but I'm not into poetry. I'm not the poet bull. I'm just the know it bull. Yo, Alfred, who are you talking about in regard to 6 albums don't compare to 14 good albums? I'm wondering who you're talking about right there. Mr. Uptown! Mr. Uptown is in the building tonight. Oh, what a feeling. hitting you with the Jay-Z shit right there, because we talking about Jay-Z and the Nas verses. Oh, what a feeling I'm feeling, right? Nas and Hova. Yeah, man. I don't know if we're gonna see it, man. You got to realize Nas is a $1 billion dude too. Nas's investments are crazy. Nas's investments have put him right there with Jay-Z. That's a little poetry for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do poetry about. You know what I'm saying? If I was on my poetic shit, I would be doing poetry about what is going on in the world. You know what I mean? I would do poetry about what's going on out there that I'm witnessing. You know, it would kind of be like how Uncle Murda does the wrap ups. Every one of my shits would be like a wrap up of what's going on. Nas is rich off crypto. Hey man, if anybody got involved with that shit at the right time, you made a great amount of money off of it. If anybody was getting involved with that at the right time, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what it was all about. Getting in when the getting was good. Mikey T for a Grammy 2022. I think the nominations and all that have already definitely been put forth, man. So I don't think there's any chance I get a Grammy, but I would like a BET award nomination. I would like a Philly Hip Hop Award nomination. I would like a BET award nomination. I would like an MTV award nomination. Grammys, yes, give me the best new podcaster award nomination. I need it. BET, best website. You know what I'm saying? MTV, best new personality. You know, I was a little tight when I kept seeing World Star in the best website. Like, yo, I need in. Respect to Canada. Hell yeah, Alfred. Ain't nothing wrong with doing it in the poetry way, man. People Tupac had a whole book of poems released or something like that. Am I correct? Or he wrote some, you know what I mean? He wrote some beautiful shit, man. I'm gonna censor myself from what I was about to say, man. Ooh, Mr. Uptown hitting us with some facts here. Apparently, I was looking at the money a little bit light. Apparently, I was looking at the paper a little bit light, you guys. Mr. Uptown says, it's funny to me seeing Straight Drop say he doesn't have any money for a lawyer after dropping 2 videos with at least a 30 ball in his hand prior to his arrest warrant. And he did the race. Yup, 30 grand, 30 bands in his hand. And now he's telling the lawyer that he's got nothing. You know? What could he have spent that on? What could he have possibly spent $30,000 on in that vicinity of time, you guys? I really don't understand it. Like, if you spent it on clothes and shit, then you lost them all. Or am I mistaken, you guys? Is there a way he can get the clothes in the jail? If you spent it on clothes, shoes, $1,000 shoes with the spikes and all that, you know what I mean? The joints with the spikes, the Christian Louis Vuittons. You know what I mean? Them joints that cost like $1,300. You know, you bought one for you, your homie's homie that you barely even knew, the dude who's driving you around in the car. You know what I'm saying? The dude letting you stay at his crib. So boom, right there, you done ran through your 30 ball pretty quickly. You know what I mean? And a guy like you is not a guy like young Dolph. Just because you scream out, drop, it's not like you're screaming out, Dolph. You know? Dolph makes $30,000 every appearance. But you don't just get to $30,000 an appearance. Like I said before, when I interviewed Dolph for the first time, I think he was making like $8,000 that night. You know what I'm saying? I think he was making like $8 grand that night. So you don't just get there. So you don't just blow $30,000 like it's nothing, like he's saving that 30 ball for commissary. $30,000 will last you forever with commissary. Joseph says, spending more than you make sucks, but you bring your real bros with you. Yeah, I agree 100%, Joe. Joseph, I agree because, you want them to feel like a part of what you're doing. They are a part of what you're doing. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about some criminal syndicate. Your friends are a part of what you want them to feel like they're right there with you so they can enjoy the experience, so they can feel the experience just like you're feeling it. You know what I mean? I know about that personally. So yeah, you buy them the things. If you're going to buy some jeans that cost $300 and then it says buy one get one half off, you know what I mean? I don't even think it works like that when it comes to $300 jeans. I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? But then you buy $300. How many pairs of these $300 jeans we got to get today? 7. Okay. Well, there you go. No, I haven't heard anything in regard to Black Youngster. What up, Craze? I'm smoking on some cake mix right now from the Cookies brand. Shit is dope. I actually was able to get a bunch of it, some pre-ground. Also had some Collins Ave, but right now I'm smoking on the cake mix. I'm about to just mix them all together, man. I'm just about to mix them all together because I'm trying to make it last me for the week, and it's like probably like 15 grams or something like that, maybe if I'm lucky. I don't know if I last a week with a 14 though. We'll see what happens. I usually clean a 14 out in like 2 or 3 days. I'm a gas smoker. So also I saw Benny the Butcher's album Tana Talk. We got to get into this Young Buck shit though. But I saw Benny the Butcher said his album Tana Talk was going to be coming out on February 3rd on the Breakfast Club. He cleared that up and said it's March 11th. Excuse me, February 11th. He cleared it up. It's going to be March 11th. I'm looking forward to Tana Talk 4, man. Benny the Butcher really, he really has set off the game, man. I'm looking forward to that album with Snoop. It's not like a Snoop Dogg. It's not like Snoop Dogg and Benny, but it's the Def Jam album. It's the Def Jam album. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I'm looking forward to. Benny the Butcher turning up Def Jam. Pusha T turning up Def Jam. Def Jam has some monsters right now, y'all. So let's talk about it, man. 50 Cent's G Unit artist, Young Buck. And I'm just going to call him a G Unit artist right now because how is he an ex G Unit artist? How is he a former G Unit artist when 50 Cent is still holding him up in limbo in contract? 50 Cent signed this man for a deal to do the G Unit album, which is cool. You know what I mean? All right, I used to be in G Unit. I'll go back. I'll do the G Unit album. They added my dog, Kid. He's really lit. I'm speaking as if that's probably what Young Buck was thinking. You know what I mean? But in all honesty, 50 signed him for 2 albums, another solo project. They fired him. Yeah, DeReal Warpath, they did fire him a number of years ago, but 50 signed him back for not only one album, not only the group album, but he signed him for a solo album too. Every time Young Buck tries to release a G Unit album, every time Young Buck tries to release a G Unit, or not a G Unit album, just an album in general, 50 shuts that shit down. So what's going on? What's going on with him, man? Mr. Uptown says he is a current B Unit artist and he is signed for 2 solo albums and a group album. B Unit. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man, but when 50 said that B Unit shit, I was on the ground laughing my ass off, man. I was like, 50 is freaking a genius. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just he just removed the G and added a B. You know what I mean? But come on, 50 knows how to make a headline, man. 50 knows how to take a smile and turn it upside down, man. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to take a smile and turn it into a frown. You know, because Young Buck he's doing all right. I mean, he got out of jail in 2 hours, right? He got out of jail in 2.5 hours. He got locked up at 6:45. He was out of jail by 10. By 1 o'clock that afternoon, he was on 50 Cent's Instagram with the whole world laughing at him, though. You know, so it's really freaking pathetic for Young Buck right now. Not as bad as what's going. It's crazy that both these situations are out of Memphis, actually, or they're out of Tennessee, I should say. But you know what I mean. Nina Supreme right there said 50 said is the music is not fire, not label approved. Yeah, he's been saying that for so long though. You know, when Young Buck released Buck the World in 2007, Buck had his next album ready by 2008. You know what I'm saying? He had an album called The Rehab ready by 2008, and that got turned into a mixtape. And it was like, wow. So he's just really going to start denying all of Young Buck's music because at that point they had got booted off of Interscope Records. All the G Unit guys got a budget of $750,000. How that money was dispensed, I don't know. Did they give the artist $750,000 and say, hey, go make magic? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that. You cannot do it like that, man. That is not a smart way to do it. A lot of labels deny artist music. That's business. Yeah. Yeah, Nina. And at this point, let me bring up Mr. Uptown's comment as well, because I just want to say Uptown at the excuse me. At this point, Young Buck's music started to he couldn't make the major hit. Get Buck wasn't a major hit, and they just didn't push the right music. Mr. Uptown saying, hey, I'm going to be honest here. I actually think Young Buck's music is still fire, but I hate the way that the public worry about the artist's personal life. When you become a fan because of the music, not his life. Yeah, back in the day, you would have never knew about an artist's public life unless they got exposed in a magazine, which is what would have likely happened in this case, you know, and people would have made a lot more money off of it, you know, if the internet wasn't like it is now. You know, somebody would have exposed Young Buck's situation and sent the information to the source or Double XL or whatever publication that picked it up, TMZ, you know what I mean? Whoever would pick it up for the most money. But we've seen shit like that go bad. I mean, didn't Suge Knight's wifey try to sell some shit and she sold it for like 50,000, 55,000, and they ended up having to pay it back. So that's not surefire, man. You can get the money and you can get the money taken back. I got to roll something up, you guys. But yeah, let's get into this, man. Young Buck, man. Young Buck. Buckshots. Which is a really, really bad name now that I think about it, man. So it looks like the Nashville PD have revealed that Young Buck is homeless and he's staying at a homeless shelter. I find it hard to believe, you guys. I find it extremely hard to believe. I find it really like head scratching. Like, you got to scratch your head on this one, man. Like, what the hell, Young Buck? I bought your album. I bought this guy's album. I bought 2 albums from you, 3 albums from you. If you consider Beg for Mercy, and now you're in a homeless shelter. Sorry to say, but it looks like my grandmother was right. I shouldn't have bought the damn album. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Mr. Uptown says, no way Buck is staying in a shelter. Yeah, there's no way that I believe young Buck is staying in a shelter. But I do, however, believe that young Buck might have been staying with that young lady that he got into an altercation with. I do, however, believe that young Buck might have been staying with the girl and might not have his own residence, which is extremely sad at this point. If young Buck didn't own his own house, I'm not one of those type of dudes that type up in their phone, where does the celebrity live? But if you had such an app on your phone, maybe you could find out where young Buck is living and sort of disprove this situation if young Buck is even a celebrity at this point. Yeah, look at what Mr. Uptown is saying, which is obviously true. And that's why I think Shorty wanted a ride. You know what I mean? Shorty want a ride. You know what I mean? Shorty want to let young Buck stay at her house. You know? Craze says Buck is not homeless. Right. Buck is not homeless. But is Buck living at his girlfriend's house? If you're living at your girlfriend's house, are you homeless? Well, the first answer to that would be no. You're not homeless because you're living at your girlfriend's house. So therefore, you're not actually homeless. But the second answer to that would be, well, are you paying rent? Are you paying rent there? Nah, man, I'm not paying rent. That's Shorty. That's wifey. You know, she keep the fridge. You know, it becomes like a wave cap Mike situation. You know what I mean? Wallows, wave cap Mike. Comes a situation like that. Shorty got the milk. Shorty got the orange juice. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think if I've ever lived off of a woman like that. You know what I mean? Just to put myself in that predicament. I've always paid my own rent for my own cribs. Yeah, even when I was 18 and I bought a beach house. Yeah, I bought a beach house when I was 18, right out of high school. Um, then I bought then I started renting a whole house. Yeah, and yeah. So no, trying to think, like, did I ever live out of Shorty's crib? Well, I mean, I did have a cool hookup in Miami. You know what I mean? I did have a cool hookup in Miami where we were just paying rent to some friends of the family and shit. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? That was Miami. It was great. It was an amazing opportunity for my career. Appreciate you, Shelton. Nina said, Buck has got a place. That's rumors. Thanks for clearing that up, Nina. Young Buck is done. RIP to his career. Well, I mean, shit. I don't know why the Nashville PD would be saying that Young Buck is homeless. The Nashville PD revealed that Young Buck is homeless. So it says here, let's see. Vandalism. Yep, he got charged with vandalism. He's actually on camera doing it. Wow. So they got it here on the Scoop in Nashville. The Scoop in Nashville's got it here that he was making $60K a year in music income and bought food to pay to stay at his girlfriend's home instead of paying rent. Wow. Wow. So that's almost like a deal that you get with like moms. You know what I mean? So that's almost like a deal you get with moms if this is accurate. You know what I mean? Shorty got the milk. No, Buck got the milk. And that's funny. That's funny as hell, you guys. And that's why this could be fake. You know what I mean? That's why this could be fake, because people know where to take the shots. You know what I mean? People know where to take shots. What did we see a number of months ago, if not a year or so ago? We saw Young Buck getting into an altercation. Young Buck had an altercation at the Young Buck had an altercation at the grocery store. Young Buck had an altercation at the grocery store, you guys. So he might have been paying his rent by going to get the groceries. You know what I mean? Oh, Nina says that Nashville Scoop is a gossip newspaper like the Inquirer. Jesus, it's got to suck. It's got to suck when you've got the gossip newspaper of the town reporting about you. You've gone from being in the Source, the cover of the Source, the cover of Double XL, I should say. They went through that whole battle with the Source where the Source didn't want to mess with them no more. But you've went from the cover of the most popular magazines, album hitting the top of the Billboard charts, to now them reporting every little fugazi. Notice the wording I'm using, fugazi, because I don't know if it's true about Buck getting caught up in all these situations that he's getting caught up in. But now they report every little thing about you, man. Young Buck should not be in Tennessee at this point, man. Young Buck actually should be in California. You know what I mean? Young Buck should actually be in California living the good life, living the life of a music celebrity. He had a major opportunity. He had a major opportunity in the game that, I don't want to say he threw it away. I don't want to say, I don't want to say he threw away his opportunity, but I mean, when 50 Cent came knocking, Young Buck didn't want to go. When 50 Cent came and said, "Hey, Buck, yo, Buck Marley," because Buck Marley is a lot better than Buck Shots. Buck Marley, it's time to go on the tour of Asia. G Unit is going to be touring Asia. Let's go, Buck. It's time to rock and roll. Buck was like, "Nah, man, I'm here with my dog in the South, and we're actually doing a tour. We're doing the tour. It's the throw some D's on the bitch." You know what I'm saying? Somebody tell me, what year did Throw Some D's on the Bitch come out? Yeah, there we go. Hell yeah, Joseph. Appreciate you for smashing that like. Yeah, that would make sense, Iceberg. Throw some D's. Bubbling in 2007. Young Buck had just put out his second solo album, Buck the World, I want to say in March. So Young Buck was trying to pump the sales up for that album when he told him, nah, I got to stay here. I got to stay here. You got to stay here, Buck. You got to stay here, Buck. We got to finish the G Unit album. Thank you for pointing that out, Nina. Although some of these numbers here that the Nashville Scoop has, like the $60K a year in music income, they did just get some numbers from Buck of 24,000, and 50 Cent wanted in on it. I mean, isn't 50 Cent going through something with Tierra Marie or something, and she owes him like 6,000, and 50 wants it. You know what I mean? He wants that shit with interest. He wants that shit with interest, you guys. 50's a beast when it comes to that shit. But that's just crazy to me. If the dude was paying, you know what I'm saying? This dude is paying rent by groceries. So you're basically paying to eat what you want to live somewhere. Jesus, man. They be letting these celebrities get away with anything if that is true. You know what I'm saying? That is the equivalent of somebody living with their mom at the age of 40. You know what I'm saying? I hope that's not accurate for young Buck, you know. Allegedly he's homeless. Allegedly he doesn't have a crib anymore. You know what I'm saying? Well, is he going to address it in a song tomorrow? I don't know. That's what he did when 50 dissed him. He addressed it in the song tomorrow. Maybe Young Buck will put out a song called Homeless. You know what I mean? Maybe he'll put out a mixtape called Homeless and it'll sort of be about, he'll flip it. You know what I mean? He can flip it. He'll call it Homeless because of the way he got kicked out of G Unit. Maybe I should write down the word homeless. Maybe that's a good movie title. Speaking of movies, Slapface is out now on Shudder. You can go check it out. The link is pinned in the chat. You can check it out for free right now. I'm in the horror movie. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you think of it, please. But maybe Buck could take my advice and make an EP called Homeless and make it sort of about how he got shut out of G Unit. You know, but I was sort of explaining that like Buck was too busy on a tour in the South, and I'm not sure if it was a contract issue. I'm sure it could have been mended by 50. 50 kind of mends all of Buck's issues. You know what I mean? Like a big bro is supposed to. There ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I look out for the people I can look out for. I expect the people that can look out for me to look out. You know what I mean? Put me in position that I need to be in. Why? I do the same thing for the people that I can. That's what big bros are for. That's what people are for. You're like, oh shit, well, Mikey T, well, that doesn't seem to be the case with you. Hell yeah, Slapface is out tonight. Take the money down. Take the video down, and the money will be there. Yeah, man, that was just crazy. Right there, it's like, okay, so you got some bread, man. If you're offering somebody, you know what I mean? But it's different. You know what I mean? It's different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I offered somebody bread to take down a video of me, it's like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, why would I do that? I want, you know what I mean, as many videos up about me spreading the name of Mikey T, the movie star, as possible. Now, Young Buck, when he's got a video out there saying this damaging shit about him, like it's just bad. It's just bad. And now you see he's like, yo, I'll pay you money to take. I think the money amount was like 2,500 that was asked of Young Buck. Can't really remember. I didn't really like to dig into that situation all too much because, like Craze 718 is saying, Buck has great mixtapes. Young Buck is one of the dopest artists to me at that point. You know, he came in and revived the life of G Unit. Honestly speaking, you guys, I don't think G Unit would have worked if it was 50 Banks and Yayo on the mainstream aspect. You know, I don't think it would have worked as well. You know, it didn't on the Terminate on Sight album. It wasn't as successful as Beg for Mercy, you know? Yep. 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 Exactly, Mr. Uptown. Exactly. Young Buck lost the 615 chain. Everybody ridiculed him for it. I remember that. The that pretty cool. It's got a bunch. It's got what's it got like yellow and blue and red in it and shit. It's all colorful and shit. Everyone knows Buck for that chain as well as the YB spinner. And they said that they took these joints from Buck and Buck ended up getting them back. They made a whole spectacle of Young Buck about that. They were like, "Oh, Buck got lost. This, da 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 da." Everything they could to run down the career of Young Buck, and it's sad to see that they've sort of won. You know what I mean? Young Buck came out with his first album and sold like 260,000 first week. 261,000, I believe the numbers were, for Straight Outta Cashville. He had 2 singles from there. Let Me In, which was different. You know, it was different. Shorty Wanna Ride, banger. You know what I'm saying? He had a bunch of dope features on there as well, but he came through swinging. You know, he came through the gate swinging, and he actually went platinum, I think 1.5 times, 1.5 million, if not 2. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be shocked to say Young Buck was double platinum. You know what I'm saying? He was doing them Little Baby numbers. Actually, no, I think Little Baby was triple platinum. Yep, Little Dirk has a new album coming out. It's dropping on 222. Jamil says that's true. 50 needed Buck for the South. Yeah, I think Buck is a really instrumental part of what happened with G Unit getting popular. You know, I'm not saying 50. You know what I mean? I'm not saying 50. You know, 50 was going to become popular regardless. But G Unit, that's another story. G Unit could have went wood. No, they would have never went wood. They would have never went wood, especially being where 50 was at that point in time. But I just don't know if it would have connected as well with 50 Banks and Yayo. You know what I mean? Just because the industry has always given Yayo a hard time. Now us, us dudes like us, we mess with Yayo. Unless everybody in here is just like Mikey T. Yayo, that's your dude. We mess with Yayo. We mess with Yayo on this side, you guys. But a lot of the industry doesn't really mess with Yayo. I don't understand it. Tony Yayo said I did great interviews, but he still wouldn't give me the time of day. But yeah, man, I don't agree with the shit, man. I don't agree with Straight Drop doing what the hell he did and having a public defender now. It's like, dude, you really just have no regard. You really just have no regard for yourself. But more than yourself, your damn family, your family that cares about you, that cares whether you're with them or not. I would assume. That's just me assuming. But yeah, he really doesn't give a shit going out and doing something like this, and now he's going to get a public defender. Who knows, man? Cases like this drag. Cases like this drag. Time goes on. People have fired their lawyers or public defenders before. We've seen Suge go through so many different ones. I'm not saying that Straight Drop is going to find a money tree or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't think any label is going to be buying his music or anything like that. You know what I mean? So we're just going to have to see what happens in this case I don't know when he's officially going to be appointed a public defender. More than likely, it'll be at his next hearing, because every time you go to court, there's a public defender there and they're like, you need the help of the public defender. They're going to have to take that without a doubt. You know what I mean? Especially after going before the judge and telling the judge that he doesn't have money for a lawyer. It's quite a considerable amount of money, you know what I mean, to have to come up with, to have to fork over property that you would pretty much have to give to the attorney. You know what I mean? I've seen it before where attorneys are given property. You know what I mean? It's not like a bail where the property's given back. You know what I'm saying? The property that you give up to the attorney is sold and the attorney is paid. You know, so this could come potentially with Straight Drop costing somebody their house, their home. You know, that's what I'm talking about when I say consider the other people involved. It's not just you in this world. It's not just Mikey T in this world. You know what I mean? I have other people who depend on me. And if I go out and do something crazy just because I want to go out in a blaze of glory, as the old term is that my grandfather Tom Kipp would say, it's his birthday today. Rest in peace to my grandfather Tom Kipp. You know what I'm saying? But this shit isn't about going out in a blaze of glory. We're not going out in a blaze of glory. We are just a consistent blaze of glory. That's what I am. I'm a consistent blaze of glory. This blaze of glory is going to be burning every single night here on the internet live. You know what I'm saying? Joseph says Buck is solid. Buck is solid. God bless. Buck was more than solid when it came to his pause. Pause. Now, Buck's music was really above and beyond, man. That's why I said it even earlier. I bought both albums. I bought the first album and I was so hyped. I bought the second album. And, I'm glad I did buy it because the way that they promoted the second album was bullshit. The single was garbage, Get Buck, but the filler on the album was amazing. He had so many different songs. He had Life Jennings on there. He had Linkin Park on there. You know what I'm saying? Buck killed that shit. And for the album, he had Eminem producing on there on the one song that was different than all the others. Like he had 50 on there on the joint where I think, who were they dissing? Were they dissing Cameron on Hold On? Hold On. It's like an ambulance, always takes so long. Who was they dissing on that one? It was Cameron, right? When you hit. But yeah, man, I find it hard to believe that young Buck is homeless, man. Like one of you guys in the chat said that you always, when you're that type of person, you always have somebody willing to let you sleep on their couch. He didn't say that exact words, but in all honesty, man, when you got somebody like that who's willing to let you stay at their place, it usually won't be a couch that you have to sleep on when you're somebody of young Buck's stature. Now, if Buck is down in that position where it is a couch, I feel for the brother. I feel for my guy. You know what I mean? If he's at the point where he's couch surfing, oh, Buck, I feel for you. I feel, in the words of Devon, oh, testify. You know what I mean? I feel for you, Buck, if that's the case. But I'm hoping that Buck has still got that point where he can go chill at people's cribs where, they got an actual room for him. You know what I mean? They got the guest room. The fridge is open for him. You know what I mean? He can go downstairs and get a drink if he wants to. He's not living in the very next room to where you go get the drink. You know what I'm saying? So every time he comes downstairs, dude's wifey is passing him and she's like, how long is young Buck going to be on our couch? How long is he going to be here? Like, will 50 Cent just please give this guy another deal? You know what I'm saying? All types of shit like that. You'd have to be going through with your wifey or something like that. Will 50 Cent please sign this? It's like, no, 50 will not sign him again. It's, you gotta understand, Buck is signing with me, babe. Buck is signing with me. We going straight to the top. B unit. What? G unit. G unit. What? I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I had you. You and Buck share what? Numero uno? Oh, y'all share birthdays? Okay. I'm like, what? I'm reading that one. What? Chantel Brown's in the building. She said, one y'all hoes reach out to Buck and give him a shelter in the studio. He'd make you $1 million. I'm sure. Oh no, you guys. Young Buck has been getting in where he fits in. Pause. Pause. Sorry, I'm back on this pause shit. You know what I mean? But Young Buck has been getting in where he can. You know what I mean? Buck has been working with DJ Paul as of late. 3 6 Mafia. You know what I mean? They've been working on an album. So, I mean, an album, is it likely to come out? Is 50 Cent going to block the album? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if 50's going to block that album. I'm wondering if 50 Cent puts G Unit on it, considering the fact that it's a 3 6 Mafia collaboration. Last artist I knew to actually do a collaboration with 3 6 Mafia, and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but the last artist I really remember doing a collab with DJ Paul and Juicy J is French Montana on the when they did a collaboration album. Is there somebody else? But yeah, so Young Buck has history with DJ Paul, because of the fact that they're both from the same spot. Young Buck used to run around 3 6 Mafia from what Crunchy Black was telling me. So they have a bit of history. So it kind of makes sense them doing this album. 50 can't keep on holding up Buck's albums though, man. That's completely ridiculous. That's completely ridiculous. Like you can't keep holding up this man's projects just because you think he owes you an album. Buck has probably turned in multiple albums for 50. So that's just ridiculous of him to keep turning it down. We all as fans know that music is pretty dope. I bet you some of that music. But the thing about it is just because the music dope, it needs to connect. The music needs to connect, and Get Buck did not connect. Everything that they did, it just didn't connect. Let me look this up. Drumline movie release. The Drumline movie, damn, that was actually 2002. So Buck was 5 years late doing that whole orchestra. They had the whole band in his video when he's running. Okay, I'm reloaded. You know what I'm saying? He was really late doing that whole band orchestra shit. What'd you think about that, Iceberg? Was that cool when Young Buck did the whole band orchestra following him? I didn't want that from no G Unit artist. I wanted the dealers following him. I wanted you know what I mean? I wanted them street guys following him. Never mind people beating on the drum and people playing the trombone, and you know what I'm saying? I don't want that type of shit. That you were a little bit late, man. You don't got the single for Drumline, bro. You don't got the single for Drumline with Nick Cannon. Would have been cool if you did. But 50 wasn't even going in 2002. Just being real. Just being real. Buck kind of missed me with that one. I mean, well, let's put this in new comparison. Young Buck had a single with Linkin Park. Right? So Jay-Z had a single with Linkin Park. I mean, Jay-Z had an album called Collision Course with Linkin Park, but this was 2004, you guys. Let me hold on. When was it released? Collision Course was released at the end of 2004. So Young Buck was again about 3 years late, 2.5 years late on this. But he came up with a record with Linkin Park, and he has a record with Life Jennings, and he releases the solo joint. You know what I mean? Get Buck, like, yeah. The South has marching bands. We love HBCU bands. Yeah, the marching band thing, I just really wasn't. That's what it is, Nina. It was a marching band. Appreciate you for tapping in for real. I wasn't feeling the marching band thing, man. I just honestly feel like Buck was a little bit late on it. He was a little bit late on it. I mean, shit, if they were doing Drumline Part 2 at that time with Nick Cannon, then maybe, but he was just too late on that one, in my opinion. Nick says, thank you. Takes more than music. His business sense was trash. Well, Nick, we were talking about the fact that Buck didn't want to go on the tour of Asia with 50, right? He didn't want to go on that tour because he was promoting on a tour with Rich Boy from Throw Some D's on that bitch. And the album sales really weren't that good for Buck the World. So I can understand him promoting it locally, going from show to show, trying to get the sales up a little bit. But he missed out on a major opportunity and also a major bag, a major part of his publishing because he really screwed himself out of the second G Unit album. Like, just as much as this guy wasn't thinking about taxes, he wasn't thinking about publishing and credits, and albums that he would be getting paid off. They took him off the G Unit album and made him a feature on the G Unit album. How disrespectful was that? They took the guy off the album and put him on as a feature. And I'm not too sure how much that would affect his income when in relation to publishing or whatever, but it's got to a certain degree. You know what I mean? He screwed himself because Buck was pretty much featured on every track on Beg for Mercy. Guy, it's crazy. Buck tripping. Wait, he on a joint with Linkin Park? Yeah. Young Buck and Chester, man. One of the dopest songs Young Buck ever had as well, I gotta say. The song is actually called Slow Your Roll. Slow Your Roll, Young Buck featuring Chester Bennington. Especially after Jay-Z and Linkin Park coming together in 2004, releasing the album at the end of November, Linkin Park and Jay-Z Collision Course. I don't understand why Interscope wouldn't market the hell out of this album. I don't understand why Interscope wouldn't market the hell out of that album. And let's talk about the fact that they put Get Buck, produced by Polo the Don, as the lead single. Everybody knows after what happened with Dr. Dre and Young Buck, Dr. Dre should have been producing the lead single on Get Buck. Point blank, period, man. We needed more than Eminem producing Lose Your Mind. But Dr. Dre did do the song with the chick. He did the song with the girl. Was it the third single? Was it the third single? Was the record called You Ain't Going Nowhere? Did that get a video? Because he had a song called You Ain't Going Nowhere with LaToya, formerly of Destiny's Child, which was cool. Let me see. What? LaToya Williams. That was the girl from Destiny's Child, right? Yeah. Yeah, Chantel, you're right. What was the song called? Craze says Buck still make a song in 5 minutes, and he needs discipline. That's one of my issues, Craze, with artists these days, though, man. Making songs in 5 minutes. It's like, back in the day when I would sit back and write a song, you know what I mean? Sit down, you'd write a song, and you'd say, "Damn, man, some of this shit right here, it doesn't really stand up to the legends. So why would I rap?" Now it's like guys get in and they make a song in 5 minutes, and it's like, yo, man, like I think you could have really just sat down and put that together and really got a lot more out of it than just doing a song in 5 minutes. That's just kind of how I feel about it, to be honest with you. That's just kind of how I feel about it, to be honest with you, man. But some of these guys, I guess they're doing songs in 5 minutes, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you write a song and you put it on paper or you put it on your phone or whatever, sometimes that shit's harder to read. You know what I mean? Shut up song and video. Oh, okay, you're talking about the joint with Trina and Trick Daddy. Trina's dope. I actually got a chance to interview Trina. I actually got a chance to go to a couple of Trina's video shoots. She is very lit. And I definitely will agree that she's the baddest bitch in the game. I'll give that to her. You know what I mean? The prettiest in the game, the most beautiful in the game. I'll give that to her. But I will smoke Soulja Boy's ass under the table. I will smoke Soulja Boy under the table, bro. I will make that boy wish he could quit smoking weed. We don't got nothing when it comes. I'm the first blogger to smoke out a whole room. I smoked out a whole room with Mr. Cheeks. The whole video, you'll watch the video, you'll see the video is completely covered in smoke. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. What was that shit? That song? Oh shit. Oh shit. What's that song? All my girls get down on the floor. What is that song? Is that that girl that T.I. signed? She's like, all my girls get down on the floor. Is that girl, that white girl with the blonde hair that T.I. signed? I can't remember her name right now. I never met her in person. Yeah, smoking on this gas. It's called cake mix. Oh shit! No, I'm not smoking the cake mix. I'm smoking the Granddaddy Pluto, baby. My boy's on that white rock. That white yeah, I just made up a name for it, bro. That white runts and moon rock. That's what we call it, that white rock, baby. I don't know if that's Iggy. Is that Iggy who got that song? All my girls get down on the floor, on the floor. All my girls get down on the floor. Then let me know. Let me know. Yo, Jay Wavy, what's popping with you, man? What's popping? I love that, man. I love that. All them joints in there, man. That shit's wavy right there, bro. That shit's wavy, man. We had to cover the topics tonight. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Young Buck being homeless. I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I think Young Buck's got some shit in the stash, man. Like, unless Buck, like, if Buck is really doing that bad, we could do a podcast together, Buck, and we can just get your weight all the way back up. You know what I'm saying? I will do a podcast with Young Buck. That'll be the biggest shit on the internet. If Buck is really down that bad, you know what I'm saying? Yo, what up, BSTN? Appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate you for tapping in. Real bitches getting down on the flow, on the flow. I don't know what song that is. I don't want to look it up either, man. I'm too interested in smoking this raw paper, man. But that's all that's playing in my mind while I'm smoking this. And I'm like, nonetheless, the Death Row posters are right behind me. Suge would have released that song. If Suge heard the song that was like, all my girls get down on the floor, on the floor. If it got that, let me know, let me know, let me know. Nah, the cake is right over there. Right here, I got the Granddaddy Pluto, excuse me, mixed with a tiny bit of Collins Ave. But yeah, no. Just to clarify, so everybody ain't thinking that Mikey T went soft. That Mikey T went soft. I'm not. Y'all didn't think I went soft, right? I'm still the hardest blogger out here, right? Suge Knight would have released that song. I'm the hardest blogger. Still. They might as well make that still Dr. Dre song and just put a bunch of Mikey T lines in it. Still. AC Suspense, appreciate you for tapping in. He said Buck is always here in Asheville, Carolina. I would yeah, North Carolina. Yeah. Like I said, man, Buck can still get bread. You know, Buck has made connections. He's not a bad businessman in that sense. You know what I mean? AC said I've seen him tons of times. He is far from broke, but his broke is our wealthy. His broke is our wealthy. I don't know if that's exactly true, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if Buck's broke is our wealthy. You know what I mean? I'm maybe Jay-Z, you know, not Buck. But yeah, you know, I think Buck isn't a lot of artists, man. They ain't just gonna tell you how much bread that they make. You know, even a lot of movie stars are like that. A lot of athletes, well, a lot of athletes are different because it's completely obvious if you're playing a game. You know what I mean? Actors can hide it a little bit. You know, they can hide their work a little bit. They can go into silent retirement. You know what I mean? They can do that shit and just hide their bread. But let me see. So we've gone over the topics tonight, man. I'm going to do some open questions. Let's do some open questions, man. So we got both these topics out. Young Buck allegedly homeless, which I think is bullshit. But maybe he was living at his girl's crib. You know what I mean? That's not something that we haven't seen before. It's not something that we all haven't done ourselves. You know what I mean? It's nothing to be ashamed of, young Buck. You know, it's really nothing to be ashamed of. Living at your girl's house, or if it was vice versa, if your girl lives at your house, you know what I mean? It's just like a little bit opposite, you know, because young Buck was facing things that we are usually saying to our girls. You know, young Buck's girl would say to him, "Hey, I will kick you out of this house if you don't buy them damn groceries." You, what happened to the chicken? You didn't buy no chicken this week. You know I could kick your ass out the house if you don't pay them groceries. All types of shit. I'm about to kick your ass out the house for turning that thermostat up. What in the hell is wrong with you? Then they wake up in the morning. You know you better go make me breakfast before I kick your ass out of this house. I fool with you, Mr. Mikey T. Good night, T, for tough T, for you can get touch T, for talent, for truth. Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Send in your open questions. I'm taking open questions right now. I just went through a whole little comedy spiel, but we're taking open questions. AC Suspense says, what is your top 5 most lyrical rappers? Top 5 most lyrical rappers in the game. Top 5 most lyrical. Guys whose lyrics that you like the most. Artist that you go to when you are specifically listening for lyrics. That's what you're asking me right now. Whew, what a question, man. You're asking me a question that I got to dig into there. Top artists, top 5 artists, top 5 lyrical artists. I'm going to have to go Rick Ross, Jadakiss, Big L, Fabulous, Eminem. Top 5 lyrical artists right there. Rick Ross, Jadakiss, Big L, Fabulous, Eminem. Right there. Top 5 lyrical artists. What's the next question? If anybody wants to ask some questions, send them in right now. I'm going to spark up. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go finish that movie. I'm going to go finish that movie, Nightmare Alley tonight. Who was your favorite rapper to smoke with? Shelton Ritter saying, who was your favorite rapper to smoke with? Everybody send in your questions. My favorite rapper to smoke with has to, I had a great time. Like I just said, me and Mr. Cheeks, or Mr. Cheeks and I, we smoked out a whole room together. And then Damian Marley walked in and he's like, "Well, go on, Mikey T." He said, like, "What up, Mikey T?" And it was crazy. Mr. Cheeks, during that interview, my brother EC was there, hell of an artist and producer himself. We were there and we smoked out a whole room. I remember one time I was at a club in Miami and Smoke Dizza recognized me. Smoke Dizza recognized me, you guys. And he was like, "Yo, come here, sit down." And we smoked a whole blunt together in the show. Like we sat down and smoked a blunt together. Best person I've ever smoked a blunt with. Okay. Best person I ever smoked a blunt with. I'm giving it to Jim Jones. Jim Jones was at Club Live. I was upstairs with my bro. It's Matic and Berserk, and Future was there, and Mike Will made it. We went up, said what up the Future, and Mike Will made it. Mike Will made it, said he actually heard of my shit when I introduced myself as Mikey T, the movie star. We went, then my brother, it's Matic, seen Jim Jones, and he was like, "Yo, Mikey, your boy Jimmy is downstairs." I'm like, I'm messed up at this point. I'm like, "Let's go." So they lead us down. It's Matic leads us down there. So the bouncer holds me back at first. He's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" I'm like, "My boy Jim Jones is in there. I'm going in there." And then it's Matic cleared everything up and he got Jim Jones to acknowledge that we were there. So I go over. Jim Jones is there. And right when I get there, I'm like, "What up, Jim?" Dap him up. I was smoking a blunt. I had a whole Dutch wrapper pack of blunts. I'm like, "Yo, Jimmy." I pull out a blunt. I gave Jim Jones a blunt. Jim Jones had like 12 bottles of rosé delivered over to the section. So we was all drinking rosé with Jim and smoking weed. And Filthy Rich was there. And it was a movie in that section. That might have been my favorite rapper to smoke a blunt with. That might have been my favorite rapper to smoke a blunt with right there. Iceberg, Jada, Big L, Fab, M, Ross. Yes. Like I said earlier, Ross is very, very dope lyricist to me. That's what I feel like he had over 50 Cent, Iceberg. 50 obviously, I think, made it to, well, obviously, he made it to bigger heights than Ross. But I think Ross had a better delivery than 50. Post getting shot 9 times, 50 Cent, because Power of the Dollar has some of the best lyrical delivery ever that I've ever heard from any rapper ever. Power of the Dollar is my favorite album of all time. Billy Parker says, "You ever met Jadakiss?" Everybody send in your questions. Send in your questions right now. And also, if you want to support the channel, like Iceberg said, send a super chat. But Billy says, "Have you ever met Jadakiss?" Wow, man. I actually had a very interesting meeting with Jadakiss. It was actually at um French Montana's video shoot with Rick Ross, Meek Mill, Little Durk was there. Rest in peace, Black Bo. Bo was there. That's one of Rick Ross's best friends in the world. Jada was there, right? It was the Paranoid remix video shoot that French Montana did. If you guys just search it, you can find it on YouTube. World Star premiered my behind the scenes. World Star was premiering all my shit back in the day, you guys. I don't know if World Star was premiering the other bloggers' shit back in the day, but they were premiering my shit back in the day. That's why I'm on this video today. But anyways, so meeting Jadakiss, he was there at the video shoot. So I wanted to go up. I was like, "Yo, Jada," I wanted to introduce myself, dapped him up, Mikey T, the movie star. And as I'm dapping him up, introducing himself, we're sort of at a door, and in walk 7 or 8 of the baddest bitches, females, excuse me, ladies, because I know y'all like to tune in. 5 to 7 or 8 of the most beautiful women just walked in and sort of separated Jadakiss from myself. we got separated. Jadakiss ended up on the other side of the door. So I'm like, damn, I just lost my opportunity to meet Jadakiss. Like, I just lost it. I lost my opportunity to meet Jadakiss. All the girls walk through. Jada's on the other side of the door. I'm like, screw it. I'm walking through the door. I walk through the door, and Jadakiss is like, Mikey T, the movie star. And I'm like, yeah. So I finished up talking to Jada. He actually was saying my name as I walked through the door. Right. 7 or 8 bad bitches walk through, but Jadakiss is on the other end of the door saying my name. Pause. Not saying anything about Jada, but Jada's got to remember that moment because he said my name. You know what I mean? And it kind of felt like he had heard some of my shit. But since then, since then I actually ran into Jada at a show because my dog actually he did a couple shows with Jadakiss and Fabulous, my brother Murda, who be throwing shows at clubs and shit. Yeah, shit was funny as hell and shit was dope as hell, man. So if anybody has any last questions, let me see. Send in your last questions right now. AC Suspense says J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar, who do you think is more lyrical? Out of the two of them, AC, out of the two of those guys, I'm personally more into J. Cole. J. Cole, I love me some Kendrick Lamar. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. But J. Cole is, he's one of the top artists in my opinion. Obviously, I didn't rifle him off in my top 10 list or anything like that. But J. Cole is an amazing artist. I think I'm going to have to give J. Cole the edge on Kendrick Lamar. A lot of people might not agree with that. Some people may, but that's a hard one to judge right there between them two, man. But me personally, I'm just more into J. Cole shit. It's a little more vibey to me. You know what I mean? It's a little more vibey to me, and I don't want to start going into song unless you send in a super chat. You know what I mean? Because you guys know I, like Tony Yayo broke into that new edition. Like Tony Yayo broke into that new edition on his album, Thoughts of a Predicate Felon. When he was in the middle of rapping and then he broke into some singing when he was like, Mr. Telephone Man, the feds is tapping my line. You know what I'm saying? When he breaks into some of that, sometimes you'll see me do a little bit of that on the channel as well. Kind of reminds me of like what 50 did in the Get Rich or Die Trying movie when he started sing along in the car with his mom. What an intense moment. What a great moment to put in the film. I heard that song the other day, and this iTunes was playing that song that was, featured in Get Rich or Die Trying, 50's movie. And it immediately made me think of the movie. So what does that say to you guys? They connected. They connected with the audience with the Get Rich or Die Trying movie. Shelton says, do you ever interview unsigned hype? It depends, man. It depends. You know what I'm saying? In certain cases, I have interviewed unsigned hype. You know what I mean? A lot of the guys that I've interviewed have gone on to blow up and become major artists. Like I did one of Vado's first interviews. You know what I mean? And Vado went on to become one of the most, dope artists. Maybe that wasn't. No, Vado's a dope artist, man. Why do I say that? Because like a few months after I did an interview with him, he was buying $50,000 watches, man. Vado made it. Other people as well. I interviewed Little Durk, before when he came out to Miami, and he was starting to promote the "This Ain't What You Want" song. Little Durk went on to become the biggest thing in hip hop, in my opinion. But you're talking about unsigned artists, man. Sometimes I do, man. It just depends on who hits me up. I take a look at it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you don't do the interviews that people ask you to do, they're like, oh man, this is why you're not going anywhere, Mikey T. They take the shit personal. It's like, hey man, I got to make a decision of who I'm going to interview and who I'm not going to interview. Appreciate you for tuning in tonight, AC Suspense. Yeah, it was definitely a lit episode tonight, man. I'm glad everybody tapped in. We had a couple topics, the Young Buck topic actually popped off the other day, about him allegedly being homeless, but we had another topic we had to tackle. So I wanted to touch on it tonight just because I bought Young Buck's albums. I've been a fan actually watching Young Buck's career the whole time. Very shocking to me that allegations like these are being made, that they're saying he's homeless because he's living with his girlfriend. That's a cheap shot, in my opinion. Billy Parker says, "Who was your favorite celebrity interview?" Favorite celebrity interview. Let me see. Lil Wayne's at the top of the list for sure. Because Wayne actually, I asked him if we could do an interview. He said, yeah. Asked him a question. He actually elaborated. You know what I mean? He went a little bit further with it. Favorite interview. Scott Storch was great. We were working together for quite some time. Gunplay was another great interview, just because of the way that we were vibing and shit like that. Well, best celebrity interview. Shit. I got the opportunity to interview Tila Tequila once, but that was just a written interview. That's cool. Tila Tequila is sexy as hell. Yeah, I've had a lot of great opportunities, man, but I really appreciate everybody for tapping in on the live stream tonight. Man, it was a dope episode. Just saw the news about young Dolph suspect, straight drop, getting a public defender. He's going to go before the judge to face the more serious charges that he's involved with. He was facing a violation recently, but it looks like on his next case, he will have a public defender. How this is going to affect him, not knowing the system all that well, I don't know. You know what I mean? The one time that I had a public defender, they got rid of one charge and they made me take the other. So that's really the only experience that I have with it. And Straight Drop is facing a number of charges. So we're just going to have to wait and see how this plays out. But also, it could take a number of years. You know what I mean? It really could take a number of years. These cases are serious, you guys. Appreciate everybody tapping in. I got it pinned. The new movie that I'm in, Slapface, it's on Shudder. I want everybody to check it out. Y'all can go check out the new film Slapface, directed by my brother Jeremiah Kipp, on Shudder now. You can sign up and get a free trial and check it out for free. So that's my gift to you guys. Everyone out there is always asking, Mikey T, what movie are you in? Are you in any movie, Mikey T? The answer is yes. The answer is yes, you guys. I am in movies. I have a scene in this film. I want y'all to check it out and let me know. Appreciate that, Shelton. And listen, follow for a follow. Whoever follows me based on this video, whoever follows me right now, if you're not following me on Instagram, I'm going to follow you guys right back. I'm going to go on my phone and I'm going to follow everybody back who follows me based on this video. I'm going to give everybody a second to do that. I'm going to give everybody a second to do that. I'm going to smoke while y'all do that. Y'all can just log on. I'm fitting to go watch Nightmare Alley tonight. But I want you all to go watch Slapface, directed by Jeremiah Kipp. If you're into horror films, check it out. If you just want to see what Mikey T, the movie star, is doing in a movie, check it out. If you just want to support, check it out. If you just love film, check it out. There ain't no reason not to check this shit out. AC Suspense says, I'm going to watch it tonight. Yeah, Shudder. If you're asking yourself, Mike, what is Shudder? What is Shudder, Mikey T? Shudder is pretty much the Netflix of horror films. You know what I'm saying? Billy Parker, appreciate you, man. Nah. All you got to do is download Shudder. All you got to do is download Shudder. It's free. You get a 7-day free trial. And then if you're into horror films, Shudder will be perfect for you. But if you just want to check it out and see what I'm doing in a movie, check it out as well. But a lot of people who sign up will keep Shudder because it's got some of the dopest horror movies on it. Back in the day, I wasn't really all too sure about Shudder. Like, I was like, what is this? But I'm a big horror movie guy, y'all. I love watching all the new horror movies, like the upcoming Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new movie called Instagram Shudder. Shelton, well, I appreciate you just tuning on here and vibing with me. My Instagram is more for people who want to know what I got coming when my lives are starting. I let the people on IG know that so they can be in here. It's just like a little bit more of an inside look at what I'm doing outside of the YouTube channel as well. But yeah, February is a big horror movie month. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we got The Cursed coming out, so I'm looking forward to those. And Slapface is a horror movie you need to give a chance. It's about a witch. It's about a boy who pretty much summons a witch, y'all. A boy summons a witch. We got the kid. My brother actually got the kid. He's a great actor named August Maturo. He was in Girl Meets World, which was the spin-off of Boy Meets World. You know that show from back in the day that was on TV for like 7 or 8 seasons, something along those lines. Very popular show. They made a spin-off for Disney, and it starred, one of the stars was August Maturo, and he's the lead actor in this movie. He actually had a role in The Nun as well, so you might remember him from something. You guys. But all right, man. It was a great podcast tonight. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I had a blast tonight, man. I had a blast. I hope you all had fun. Give me the thumbs up if you enjoyed the show. Put the thumbs up in the chat if you enjoyed the show tonight. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. It's been a live episode. Hell yeah. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, man. We'll see you on the next podcast, man. I had a great time tonight. Major love to everybody that tapped in, man. I'll see y'all